How you doing? Gregory Scott here from Kush Audio. I'm at Namm 2015. Yes. Showing off all of our toys here. We have everything under the sun except mic preamps. We have EQs. This is the world's most flexible and most punchy analog EQ, channel strip EQ. Here we have high frequency only and mid-range shelving in parallel. This is a crazy EQ. It's a cheap box, brings everything up and forward, instant mastering polish. It's gorgeous. These are the rack versions of the 500 modules. They're identical in every possible way, except these are less expensive. This is my modified version of the Empirical Labs Fatso, done with their blessing. And in fact, they licensed the design back off of me now, so they build them right at the factory. This is a fun box. You just hit a few buttons, turn a knob, and you're like, I like that, we're done. And then this is our new baby. This is the tweaker compressor. This is the polar opposite of this. This is a thinking man's geeky tweak box compressor that gives you controls that no other compressors ever had and lets you do any style or sound of compression you can imagine and then some. It's insanely fun and ludicrously flexible, and that's our new baby there. So that's the toys from Kush Audio. Tweaker takes conventional compressor controls and stretches them out in both directions. So you have an attack that ranges from 10 microseconds out to 70 milliseconds. So you can shave transients flat or leave them completely intact. Release has two modes. It's got a fast mode that goes from 20 milliseconds to 500. That's like every release you've ever used in your life. And then it's got a dual mode, which adds a second release that's 10 times the speed, and it slows them both up. So now you've got the old LA2A style vintage opto compression that releases the first half of gain reduction very quickly and the second half very slowly. At its slowest, in 2 stages, this will release your signal 7,500 milliseconds. So if I stop the program material, you'll see it gets slower and slower until it eventually lets go. Curve control here gives you ratio and knee combined. So it starts off at very gentle 2-to-1 soft knee compression and slowly morphs through to a 30-to-1 hard knee limiter. So at its fastest attack and release on that limiter there, it is the closest thing you'll get to an analog brick wall. It lets absolutely nothing through. It's an amazingly aggressive and fun limiter. Over here on the input-output section, you've got a drive control that lets you control the amount of saturation or distortion independent from the threshold of the compression. So with these 2 knobs here, you can have more distortion and less compression, or less distortion and more compression, or anything in between. It's an amazingly flexible sound. This will go from 0.03% harmonic distortion, which is nothing, to 15%, which is a total dirt box, and everything in between. Mix control for onboard parallel wet-dry compression. Makeup gain. Relay bypass, so if you're in bypass, this does not touch the signal. Threshold control with over-threshold LED, so as soon as you cross that threshold, this LED will let you know, and you'll see compression happening before it will accumulate on the gain reduction meter. And then this here gives you a bunch of filters in the sidechain control. This is a sidechain shaper section. 60 Hertz high pass, classic, everybody knows that. Lets the bump through on your mix. 300 Hertz high pass, amazing on male vocals that are up on the microphone. Cello, acoustic guitar, anything where you want the low mids to just sing through without being smashed. It's got a treble smash. This is an amazingly aggressive high frequency limiter, like radio compression. So it will smooth out the top frequencies like tape, like satiny, and let all the bottom frequencies come roaring through. Edge contour mode activates this knob here. As you turn this knob to the left, the compressor becomes more and more responsive to low frequencies and less responsive to high frequencies. It's 2 shelves doing this. If you go this way, it's the opposite. It makes the compressor more responsive to high frequencies and less responsive to low frequencies. So between the expanded controls, the sidechain shaper section, and the distortion separate from the compression, there is no limit to the amount of colors and sounds you can get with this box. And it's only street price is $1,500 a channel, so it's kind of affordable.